Welcome to this BASI systems tutorial. Today I'm going to address spring settings. Spring settings is something that is often very difficult for less seasoned teachers, but as we become more and more seasoned, we recognize that spring settings are something that we use to our benefit, either to make it more challenging or to make it less challenging for a client. We always have a range, a logical range that we're working within. The BASI systems equipment provides us with exceptional adjustability. Very simple adjustability, but exceptional adjustability. When I designed it, I wanted a system that would be easy, user-friendly, and very logical. Because obviously, as a teacher, I've been teaching Pilates for over 35 years, I want it to be easy for the teacher and not labor-intensive for the teacher. So let me welcome you to the spring settings. First of all, you don't have to lower the bar, of course, as you change the springs, but I'm going to do it just so we have an uncluttered surface. I unlock my one adjusting latch, I unlock the other one, I take it all the way down, let one lock into place, let the other lock into place. Please watch the other tutorials that I offer on the foot bar and adjusting the foot bar. Now we get to the springs. I want you to notice from this side how the springs sit inside this beautifully crafted piece of wood. So those springs are sitting there, they will not go anywhere, they won't move around. As you can see, no expense has been spared and no work has been spared. The goal was to create the ultimate in Pilates equipment, both in terms of form, the beauty of the equipment, and function, how it functions. Simple, clean, and user-friendly. So, I'm not yet addressing the colors, I'm just addressing the settings. We have 3 levels, or what we call gears. First gear, second gear, third gear. Each gear, of course, is going to make the spring incrementally tighter, more resistance, pre-tensioned, what we call pre-tensioned. So this is a red spring, which is a full spring. We go first gear. Second gear, always best to take the spring from this side so that you can use your body weight to your advantage. And third gear. It is as simple as that. It's just taking it either up or down. I encourage you not to grab it from the knob, but rather from the spring itself, and simply place it on the knob, and away you go. We have a red spring, which is the heaviest. We then have a blue spring, which is approximately 50% of the red. So we call it half a spring. It's a lighter spring. Again, you can go first gear, you can go second gear, and you go third gear. The gears go up as they become more and more tensioned. The yellow is the lightest. The yellow is about 25% of a full red. And again, you got yellow, first, second, the third. The reason we didn't make any more colors, and we may in the future, if you would like them, let us know, is that there's infinite, almost infinite adjustability. Because you have got 3 spring colors, you have got 3 gears, that offers you infinite options. For now, I've got a red on the second gear, I've got a red on the first gear, and I've got a yellow on the first gear. Let's just say I want it slightly heavier. All I do is that. Say I want it a little heavier. I may go there. And if I want it a little heavier, what I may do is add a blue on any gear, or I may simply take the red up and have only 2 springs, but both of them on the second gear. I want slightly heavier, I take them up, both of them now on the third gear. 2 reds on the third gear. I want slightly more tension. I simply add that yellow. I may want a little more tension than just a yellow. I go up to my blue spring. Still a little light, I go up. Still a little light, I go up to there. I've got 2 reds and a blue on the third gear. And so forth. We may want to load all the springs. If you're doing footwork with a man, that may be where you want it to be. All the springs on the third gear, that is going to be your heaviest setting. If you're working with a taller man, you may want to put it at that setting. Remember to lock both sides. And then what you can do is, this may be too much tension now, so you may want to go down in tension. If it is a tall person, you can also adjust the stopper. To adjust the stopper, we take all the springs off. And now we have these stopper positions. If you're working with someone extremely tall, you will put the stopper at that position. Notice I just gently put it in and down it goes. And I put the springs in that, on that first gear, which will be already pre-tensioned. This would probably accommodate comfortably someone over 6 foot. If they're even taller than that, the only adjustment left for you at that point is to use a lower bar position, and here you are working with someone already in the high 6 foot range, basketball player, volleyball player. More likely you will be working in this foot bar setting, which is what we call the high bar, 60 degrees, and you've put the gear, the stopper all the way out. But now you feel that is just too far out. I again release all the springs and I bring the stopper in. I put it back here. This is good. It feels good. But now you want a little more tension. All you do is you put those springs on the second gear. It feels good, but slightly light. Take the tension up. A little heavier. Take that up. And so we can move now to the third gear if we want to, 1 spring at a time, as you find the setting that you want. So as you can see, you've got infinite options to find the correct setting. We usually start in that first gear position until we know where we want to work. Again, you want to change the gear, you take all the springs off. I'm sorry, I should have said stopper. To change the gear, you don't need to take all the springs off. To change the stopper, you need to take all the springs off. And you just wiggle it into place. Wiggle it into place. And this is what we call a neutral spring position. There is no tension on the spring at that point. It is just at the point where it is about to tension. There's no pre-tension. The moment you go up to the second gear, You have now pre-tensioned the spring. There's already tension. As you push out, the spring is already pre-tensioned, and you could go up to the third gear, and the spring is now strongly pre-tensioned. That's the heaviest position of the spring. Thank you so much for attending this tutorial. In our next tutorial, I'm going to address how we coordinate foot bar position with spring position with stopper position. Thank you so much.